What up, Cowboy Nation?
What up, what up, what up?
We appreciate you rocking with us. We got a lot of news to go over, a lot happening in the Cowboy Nation. We got updates. We got Osa's contract.
Absolutely.
We got draft talk. We got combine talk. We got a lot, man. I'm excited about today's show. Yeah, we do, Coach. We got a lot, man.
There it is.
But before we get started, man, as always, I'm your man, T. Drake.
And I am your man, Coach T. We are I-70 Entertainment by way of Columbus, Ohio. Cowboy Nation.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to Dayton.
Absolutely.
We'll go ahead and ask you, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification so you know when we bring this great workout to you.
Absolutely.
As Coach T said, we got plenty of stuff for you. So make sure you check out what we got on our channel. Coach T has been doing a tremendous job with his weekly review here in Central Ohio of the boys basketball. A lot of coverage gets missed here, especially in the city. So I appreciate what you're doing, my brother.
No, I appreciate it, man. Having this platform to
man.
do it.
You ready?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it. So, the offseason is full underway. And the Cowboys have been off to a great start. I think they've got off to a good start. Things actually are starting to feel a little different. Or are they? But let's start off talking about
They are.
Congratulating.
They feel different.
You think it feels a little different?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, we'll get into it. Yeah. Let's start off just talking about us bagging Osa, getting my man Osa's contract underway.
Absolutely.
We got Osa on a deal for 4 years for $80 million. I think he's got $58 million guaranteed. So we got that done, and we avoided the franchise tag. Coach, I'd like to get your thoughts off the bat on what you think about what it means to us of getting Osa signed and delivered.
All right, let me go by, give you a couple stats real quick.
Yes, sir.
Number one in QB hits with 23 among interior defensive linemen.
Yes, sir.
Number 4 in pass rush win rates among interior defensive linemen. 78.5% pass rush grade according to PFF Pro Football. That's 11th out of all of the interior defensive linemen.
Yep.
Last year, 47 tackles, 4.5 sacks. And this is the big thing, man. It's one guy.
Since his rookie season.
Yeah, and that was in his rookie season.
Mr. Reliable.
Come on, man.
Hey.
And 14th highest paid defensive tackle.
There you go,
we
man.
Got all that, so we kind of got a bargain, man.
We got a bargain, Coach. And to make it even better is that it's only $6.8 million towards the cap. You know what I mean? Versus what you told me. We don't want to tag him. Because that would have been $25 million towards the cap. So that's great information that you bring into us, Coach. But I'm excited, man, because for the first time what I was talking about, it feeling different, is that we're going out and getting stuff done early. We got a sense of purpose.
Yes, sir.
We got a sense of purpose.
Absolutely.
And so I'm liking what I'm seeing as far as the aggressiveness, us taking care of the cornerstone players. We've already gotten to negotiation talks with our man, Michael Parsons.
Absolutely.
And how about CD coming in and signing that, stroking that pen, getting that restructure, giving us back $20 million, going to give us some cap space, and then following him was our man number 4, coming in, giving us $30+ million. You know what I mean? So we get some things done.
You know, like you told me before, they're going to get their money. It just won't be next year. But they're going to get it before the contract is up. So it just depends on when we want the cap hit. Yeah. So I think we're trying to do some things for this year, man. We're trying to really make a move. We'll see how the rest of it goes.
It makes sense, man, because those are, like I said, cornerstone players. And the thing is, those guys are going to be around. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So the money gets moved down the line, you know what I mean? But those are guys that you expect to be there. Another signing is somebody that's always getting picked up his contract for another year or so is C.J. Goodwin. Mr. Special Teams Don. We got that guy. We got that guy back up.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, as we should, man.
Yeah,
you gotta have a Don BB out there. You know, somebody who's gonna crash down there and do his job and be the best. You know what I mean?
Every team needs that guy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so I think you got Wanye.
Absolutely.
Went ahead and gave him that tenure, so it looks like Wanye is going to be with us. And then our special teams guy. I didn't want to see him walk. So it looks like we gave him a second round tenure. I think that's somewhere around $5.4 million. So that'll be great to have him back.
Yeah, somebody picks up Kevontae, they're gonna have to pay us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give us something, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Turpin having him back, and I'm hoping that goes through and it stays solid, is a big deal for us too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, and the reason why I said have we really changed our ways or does it feel new is because not shortly after that, Jerry opened his mouth. And he started talking about free agency. I don't know what aggressiveness is, and is that the right term? And so, I think the thing is, man, if he just shuts your mouth, you know what I mean, things go well for you.
Yeah,
but when you talk, you know what I mean, that's when we got problems, Coach.
I think he's really had to swallow his pride, man. You got the Eagles going 2 out of the last 3 years and winning. I think that really hurt him, and like you said, when he walked through the Philadelphia, and they were like, "Great job, Jerry.
Keep it up, Jerry."
Yeah. I think so. Hopefully, I'm not going to fully jump on board that he's changed his ways. We'll see how the negotiations go with Micah, because after Max Crosby has already signed, you want to sign Micah quick. All right, I'm gonna give you 35.5.
Right.
I'm going to make you the highest. You know what I mean?
Right. Quick.
Yeah. Don't wait for somebody else to jump in there. Somebody to Myles Garrett to trade and Myles Garrett get $40 million, something like that.
Yeah, you got to pay that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think what was the bar set about $34 million? Was that Bosa?
Yeah.
About 34.
Yeah,
so
something like that.
You figured he was going to come in right around there or higher.
Yeah. So and Max got 35. I think he's got 35 a year, somewhere around there. So, yeah, he's going, yeah.
And then, Micah has talked about him wanting to win over the money. So, he seemed like he's flexible, but you never know when those agents get behind closed doors and what happens. But I think we're off to a great start, Cowboy Nation. I'm looking at it right now. We rank 8th in the NFL in cap space, which is really good, man. So I'm expecting us to go out and at least, get some of those gaps and some of those holes that we have filled before we go into the draft, because the draft, we've had the success. They had a great article talking about when we draft the best player out there versus need. We've had success. We've had success.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is with Jared, that's all he's been talking about, draft. You don't want to put all the eggs in the draft because free agency is done by the time the draft comes along. So let's be players early in free agency.
Yes, sir.
So when we draft, it's not so many holes that we have to fill. And, sometimes we can just draft it, like you said, the best player available, because we got something for those. We got something else. We picked up something in free agency.
Right.
So
like you said, I was just looking at this here too. If we get the deal done early, man, it's going to give us north of $72 million to spend in free agency. And when I talk about get the deal done early, we're talking about Micah Parsons' deal. So it's best for us from a financial standpoint and everything to get this thing done as soon as possible. So based on what I've saw from the Cowboys, Jerry Jones being at the combine, not doing his interviews, keeping his head down, it appears that we are very serious about what we're doing. And that is great news for the Cowboy Nation and for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always great when Jerry doesn't want to be the center of attention. You know what I mean? That's a great thing, and that's what happened at the combine. And he got some business done with Osa and with all the other guys. Now let's bring some guys in.
Yes, sir. And I believe we went ahead on Hoffman too.
Absolutely.
Hoffman will be back, and so that's good because that young man is a great backup. He's a great utility knife that we've got that can play multiple positions. So getting that guy back in there is good. We've got some things to figure out. I think the biggest thing I'm looking at is ghosting. Like, you know what I mean, as far as
he's going to be tough to keep, man.
It is, man.
He's going to be tough to keep.
It is.
He's going to be tough to keep, man. That's why might have to go with Tank. Might have to bring Tank back, man. And it's a few free agents who might be affordable to us, man.
Yeah, man, the free agency, I was looking at it, man. There might be some guys, and we've got a segment coming right behind this on free agency, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, that Osa deal, I know you had talked a lot about Milton Williams from the Eagles also as well. I looked at him, man. He's going to command a lot, man. They're looking at him. He's the number one interior defensive lineman. So I believe the Osa deal kind of struck us a little bit in a good way, but there might be some things we've got to get smart about and be creative about who we bring in since we got that deal. But man, getting that locked up early sure feels good.
Hey, and you know what the first thing he did after he signed and, whatever.
What do you do, Coach?
Went to work out, baby. He said, got to get his workout in.
Hey, he's serious.
My man, that's the type of people we need.
Yeah, you feel thankful. You feel blessed that you got the opportunity. And now you be like, hey, man, I just don't want this money and fade into the darkness.
Hey, because it's a whole lot of people that happens to. You sign that big money. And then be like, man, where is that guy that we signed to this big money? And we ain't seen him for a couple years.
Cats in Cancun chilling after they get that bread. But no, man, that's really good. And I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great sign. Yeah. So there it is, Cowboy Nation. You see what we're doing. We're doing some things early. Feel a breath of fresh air. Hoping so. Hoping that things are changing and that the owners and GMs and everybody is on a different page.
Absolutely.
So, we'll wrap this segment up. We got free agency coming at you, so hold tight, Cowboys Nation. So free agency is upon us.
Yes, sir.
This has been an area where we have not been good at. We have not even wanted to be good at. So I'm always upon the notion of if there's people out there who have proven in this league that they can fill a void and can play and give your team something, I want them over a guy that's not proven, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've had success in the draft. Always shouts out to my guy, Clay.
Yeah, yeah. But he does the job.
He does a hell of a job, man. But, free agency is something that I believe this year, from what I'm hearing from the brass, is that something that we wanted to be a part of this year. But Stephen Jones' selective aggressiveness, what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that we're going to look at free agents, but if it means that we spend too much money, we not opening that wallet?
Yeah, whoever we select, we're going to be aggressive on. And we know how their selection has been in free agency the past couple of years. We're going to let everybody go by and then be like, oh, you still playing? You was good 5 years ago. Let's see if we can get that magic back.
Oldie but good.
Yeah.
Blow the dust off that. But yeah, man, so we'll see what that means. That is selectively aggressive, man, with his little air quotes or whatever, Cowboy Nation. I really don't know what that means. They talk about they see what Philly's done. They feel what Philly's done. So I want to see something, man. I want to see something in free agency. That's a lot to come, and we'll talk about here in just a second some of the people that are out there that might fill that void.
Yeah, because we got a few holes to fill.
We sure do, man. I'm taking a look right here, right now at our key free agents. We had 22 of them, I believe it was, to start out. With some of the key free agents, we got Rico Dowdle, we got Jordan Lewis, we got Chauncey Golston.
Gosh, dog.
And we got Tank, DeMarcus Lawrence. Just to name a few. Man. Those are key
Come on, man.
pieces that you've got to fill in order for this team to be good. And one thing I do know, I know one team that's going to be all over these guys. A Jordan Lewis or a Chauncey Golston.
What? Yeah, that team in the nation capital.
Yeah, that damn
Come on, man.
Come on, love man. Picking up our guys.
Come on, man. You already know.
You know what it is.
You already know.
You already know he got them on speed dial as soon as they hit the wire. So.
He already done holler at them.
Right.
Just, hey, how's the wife and kids? Hey. Hey, remember, if you're a free agent, we want you.
Right.
Come on, man. Don't do that.
So it's a money thing, Cowboy Nation. So, we went out and spent the money on Osa. Does that mean that Golston's out the door? Does that mean that a Jordan Lewis is out the door? Some decisions made. I mean, I've even heard talks that maybe we may even look at maybe parting with Trayvon Diggs. There's some hard decisions that have to be made, man. You know what I mean? But there are decisions that we have to make.
Yeah.
You talk about free agency. You've heard talks of maybe a Cooper Kupp, being there for us. But when we look at free agents, I mean, Coach, what really do you see out there as a possibility if we're going to spend or we're going to bring somebody in? Is it a Devontae Adams? Stephon Diggs? Talk to me, bro.
Well, first we got to figure out what we're going to do because you just name you can't just skip over them. Those are 4 key names. That you just rattled off.
Yes, sir. You're talking about our own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, okay.
I mean, what we're going to do with Rico, I don't think we're going to keep Rico.
I don't either. There ain't been no talks of.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll probably demand more on the open market than we're willing to give.
Yes, sir.
Jordan Lewis, I really want him back. I really, basically all three of those guys.
Yeah.
We'll probably keep Tank because hopefully we can get him for a much cheaper price, coming off that injury, being over 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Chauncey, I think is going he priced himself out of our out of our pockets.
Yeah.
He can play what? The end for the 4-3 and 3-4.
Yeah, he's definitely
very
a versatile.
He's versatile.
Yes, he is.
So I want to keep Jordan Lewis because what do we have at the corners? We got Bland. I don't know when we're going to get Trayvon back and what we're going to get.
Yep.
What type of Trayvon we're going to get when he comes back, working himself back into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else we got? Carson. We're going with Kalen Carson. We're going Andrew Booth. I mean, isn't that who came in late? You know what I mean?
Not that one.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Not that one.
We're going to put Izzy back down
And I
there.
know who you're talking about, Coach, and I feel bad, Cowboy Nation, because I can't think of the kid who came in the last couple of games, played corner, and he played very well. But I'm gonna that's great, Coach. I like that. I'm gonna give you my take though.
Uh-huh.
I think that Jordan Lewis is probably not going.
Okay.
Because I think Jordan Lewis can get a lot more money on the market than
you.
what we're going to probably try to lowball him at. And I just think that Carson is a really good defensive back. And I think at some point, man, when you draft these guys, you're going to have to give them opportunities. So if you go with Diggs and Bland, I think he could shift to the inside and he could give us really good play.
Okay.
I really do. So if it's about moving around cards and trying to, pinch money and do this and do that, Jordan Lewis might be a guy that we don't want to let go. You know what I'm saying? But we might have to. So that's one guy. And then on the front,
but we'll have to draft one then.
Yeah, you definitely want to get a guy somewhere in there in the draft too.
Okay.
And then the other guy that you talked about was Tank. Loving, you know what I'm saying? Loving. But I was looking at free agency, like Dante Fowler was on the list. Or what you probably could pay Dante Fowler. You know what I mean? I think you maybe could get that production and maybe some even a little bit more because I just don't know because he's got that foot injury. And we talked about when guys come off.
Feet.
It's always tough. But I wouldn't be mad with either one of the guys coming back. I would love to have both of them back. But I just think, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to make some key decisions and if you're going to spend some money in free agency, you might have to kind of, you know what I'm saying, say goodbye to some.
Okay.
It's very hard.
So you're willing to say goodbye to Tank?
Yeah. I didn't think myself. I know you probably remember Cowboy Nation on a couple of shows ago. I said I didn't think Tank would come back just because I didn't know for sure if he even wanted to play.
Right.
But he does.
Right.
But I just don't know like what he really wants on the market and if he really wants to come in at what the Cowboys is wanting to pay him, I should say. So in that situation, I'm just not sure, Coach. And then, I think the big thing is going to be as far as you have to kind of marry this to the draft. So do you go out and get a receiver early? You know what I mean? If you got a McMillan or somebody like that from Arizona available, do you go ahead and spend that? You know what I mean? Versus do you go out and get an offensive lineman? You know what I mean? Because if we want to be able to run the ball, we're definitely going to have those guys up front. You got to replace Zack Martin. That's a big piece, Cowboy Nation. So I'm just not sure, like, where do we go? It's tough.
That's why free agency is key. If we don't do anything in free agency, then okay, we can talk, man. But just say we pick up Will Hernandez at the right guard. Now is the offensive lineman is pressing.
Right. That's a great decision. So that's why I'm saying this.
If we resign Rico.
Right.
Now is a 12th pick, is it that pressing? Or can we spend the third round pick or later? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah, you make great points, Coach. I'm just looking at some of these guys that's on here as far as interior linemen. You got Brandon Scherf as a guard. That's pretty good. James Daniels, who played in Pitt. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Pittsburgh is pretty good guy. So those are some guys that you can look at maybe possibly that you bring in.
Right.
Or like we talked about, man, can we move some guys around? We've talked about BB maybe moving over to guard.
What was that? Put Hoffman at center?
If we had to, or do you draft a guy? I'm saying, that's out there that may be come in and play center for you. So,
Right.
you know, it's a lot of difficult decisions. That's why I'm glad we got Will McClay there, you know what I mean, to help us out. And I'm hoping that we can make the right decisions. So free agency is going to be tough, man. It really is. But there's good talent out there. I'm just not sure which way we go or what's the direction that the Cowboys will go. But there's plenty of talent out there, man, that we can get if we're willing to spend a little bit of bread. That is the part that I'm not sure.
That's the key. That's the key.
That's the part I'm not sure of.
Do we want to spend? I mean, we acting like we do. By the way, we're restructuring.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
we act like we do, but you know, it'll come down to, do we actually open up that wallet?
Yes, sir. So one thing I want to talk about, because I think one thing I always during the season felt was that we needed someone to go alongside D-Lamb. So looking at the free agents that are out there, and we were just talking off camera about C.J. Goodwin. Chris Godwin. I'm sorry, Chris Godwin. Excuse me, Chris Godwin. We were talking about him, and some of these guys that we have out there, bringing Amari back. Does any of these guys make sense to you?
Chris Godwin is about the only one. Amari is, you know, if we bring Amari back, people will be expecting the Amari who left. And it's not the same guy. He still has the routes, you know, but I don't think, you know, as you get older, speed is, you know, it's going to diminish a little bit.
Yeah, it is, and he's a guy that also too is, you know, both of those guys. I mean, Goodwin, both are guys that are banged up quite a bit. You know what I mean? So I really would like to see us get fresh talent for a wide receiver, a young guy that can come in. You know, that's exciting. But, you know, you have to weigh your options. You know, if you're going to run the ball, I keep going back to how important that offensive line is.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, the good thing about it is we have two offensive line coaches, one of the best in the NFL and one of the best in the collegiates from last year.
That's correct.
You know, so.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we really handled as far as our offseason moves, is getting some coaches in there that really fit what we're trying to do. So we asked you, Cowboy Nation, want to get some more interaction with you guys, man. Hit us in the comments, man. Let us know who you would like to see. Who do you think the Cowboys should go after, free agents, or should we just try to build in the draft like we always done? I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, please let us know, man, because I like a little mix.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, give me one big splash and a couple of little beep beep beeps, and then just all the beep beep boops. Yeah, just trying to hit something, man.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, Cowboy Nation, we're gonna take a pause right here, and we'll be right back at you. Let's talk about this draft. Let's talk about some prospects. So more to come. Cowboy Nation. Cowboy Nation, right back at you.
Sir.
Let's talk a little bit, Coach, about the draft. Talk about some strategies. Let's talk about some needs.
Yeah.
And then we'll eventually talk about some of these prospects.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things you can do in the draft. This is a pretty deep draft, so there's a lot of options. Should we take a guy like Gentry if he falls to us? Should we think about falling back in the draft? Should we fill that void and go after one of these offensive linemen? Should we go defensive line? Because we know we have had a problem over years trying to stop the run. So there's a lot of strategies, man. There's a lot of strategy. And then something that I've been seeing is that we might even have a need for a linebacker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, we do.
Overshawn being injured.
Yeah.
You know, there seems like Eberflus is really focusing on keeping Micah, putting that pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
So in the middle of that defense, you know, it's always, you know, a key position that you want to have out there and you want to have filled with the best talent that you can. Coach, I want to start off with you because something that you've been talking to me about is moving back in the draft.
Yes, sir.
And I'd just like to get your thoughts and a little bit about what you're thinking about as far as what we could do and how that could help us with some picks.
We need players. We got a few holes to fill. What you say? Running back, receiver, offensive line, defensive line,
defensive
linebacker. You know what I mean? We got some holes to fill.
We got them, baby.
That's why we said in the previous segment we can't just hope, you know, just put everything on the draft. We gotta sign some legitimate free agents this year.
Yes, sir.
To match up, to pair with the draft. But I'm thinking trade back because we got so many holes.
Okay.
And I'm looking here. If we trade back, according to the NFL trade values chart by Draft Tech, we can trade back 2 spots to the 14th pick. That's a extra 4th round.
Okay.
Trade back 4 spots to the 16th pick. That's an extra 3rd rounder. Trade back 9 spots to the 21st pick. That's an extra 2nd rounder.
Okay.
So that 20, it all depends on how it falls.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you're falling back like that, do you feel like that you're going away from maybe the best player available and taking what's left? What I mean by that is there a generational talent? Is there a guy that you can knock it out the park with? This guy come in and he's a game changer right off the bat. If you take him at the 12th spot versus falling back more and then drafting more for a need.
Right. Well, that comes to your draft board.
Absolutely.
You know, if you got this guy as being a can't miss Hall of Famer,
yes, sir,
and he's there, you got to pick him up.
Okay.
You know, but if your draft board is like here and those guys up top are gone, and you know the next guy, and you can trade back because the guy that you're zeroing in on might not, you know, is going to be there in the 20s maybe.
Okay.
Or 5 picks later.
Okay.
To get him at 16.
Okay.
So, you know, it just depends on your draft board and how we're evaluating the talent that's out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But you know, if it's a few good backs, but Genty is special. He's special.
Yeah,
he's
I think so,
special.
man. He's real special. But you know, as we talked about it, man, you know, cats be thirsty. Cats be thirsty. And I'm hearing Chicago Bears possibility, Raiders possibility. We don't even know if he's even going to be there.
Right.
But one name that I want to ask you about that I'm hearing that possibly could be there, the Terrell McMillan from out of Arizona. We're talking about a guy, you know, we talk about Dak Friendly.
Come on, man.
This guy would be a wide receiver that would be Dak friendly because with that size and the way he's able to traject the ball and high point the ball, he would be a guy that maybe could make up for a lot of mistakes, or you can maybe just trust and throw the ball out there and this guy is going to go get it. Not a burner, speed-wise, maybe not the best route runner either, and I think that's something he's got to get better with. But, man, what a talent.
Hey, man, his size, and he knows how to use his size, man. And he can go get it. And, man, he's the best one out there.
Yeah.
You know,
you're talking about maybe a guy that maybe could give you like a Mike Evans effect.
Absolutely. You know physical.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Somebody that you can throw it up there and trust that he's gonna come down with the ball.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And that's somebody who we need opposite of CD.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you talking about the other needs. We'll talk about the defensive line. You got Osa locked up. You know what I mean? So let's free him. If you bring in other talent, you know what I mean, some young, energetic talent, that could even be even more valuable for you. So you got guys out there, and these guys probably are not going to be there when we want them. But you got guys like Mason Graham or Kenneth Grant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, Grant might be.
Probably more.
Yeah, Grant might be there.
More than Mason Graham. They're going to eat him up like Pac-Man.
Do we want another freaking Michigan? Man? I mean, I'm tired of drafting these Michigan guys, man. Taco Charlton, Mozzie Smith, Luke Schoonmaker. I mean, they average.
Yeah, but you know what we talked about in our last segment? We talked about that guy from Texas. Well, I'm hearing might be available maybe 2nd round, a 3rd round.
Or DB?
No, defensive lineman that we went over last week.
Collins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That might be somebody that's going to be there. So when you look at it, Cowboys hold 12th, 44th, and 76th pick. That's going to be your first, your second, and your 3rd pick.
See, that's 3 in the top 150.
Exactly. So I'm confident on the running back side. You don't get Gentry. You get off that bus. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get you a nice running back, whether it be an Amari and Hampton. Not your guy, because I think the other guy from Ohio State, the one we really love, Henderson, he's gone. But the other guy, what's his name?
Quinshawn Junkins.
He might be
there.
there.
Caleb John. I like him from
Iowa.
Yes, sir.
He's
like
powerful.
Him.
Not a home
and he's
run
smooth,
hitter.
man. He's not bad,
They can
man.
catch good out the backfield as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got what the whole point we're saying is Cowboy Nation. We have options if we don't get a running back. So I know a lot of us has got our heart set on Genty. If we don't get him, don't panic. Because there's going to be running backs that are going to be available.
Don't panic.
There are going to be running backs that are going to be available.
Yeah.
Alfred Collins was the guy from
Texas.
Texas. So on the defensive line, I think that'll be a possibility. Offensive line. You got to consider an offensive lineman at that 12th spot because Shotty want to run, man.
Yeah.
Shotty want to run.
And like I said, we got 2 offensive line coaches, the OC and the O-line coach. So, we got to get.
Yes, sir. And we'll talk about this guy a little later when we get to our draft prospects. But guy from Missouri, Mimbu, man, you couldn't have had a better combine. This guy, athleticism jumps off the freaking chart. And he may be a possibility, somebody that might be there at 12. We talked about the kid from Ohio State. There are nice options. There's another guy from Texas. Is it Banks?
Which one? The tackle?
Yeah, offensive tackle. Yeah, that maybe can play even inside as some guard too. So there are options out there. There are a lot of prospects in the draft. Me, myself, I really love Luther Burton. I really like this guy. He went out there in the draft. I thought he was maybe a 4.5 guy. He went out there and put up that 4.41. You know what I mean? And had a really good performance from an athletic standpoint, catching the ball, move well. I believe definitely he's going to be there at 12. But it's all about needs, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's about who's on your board, man.
Yes, sir.
Because I mean, I'm looking at this Matthew Golden. He could possibly, and he got good tape too, man.
He does, Coach, man. He does. He's got really good tape.
It's a lot of talent out there. That's why I say we need more than 3 picks within the first 150.
Yes, sir.
I mean, so I wouldn't mind, even if we just drop back 1 or 2 spots to get a pick 125 or something. We need something, man. We need more than that.
I totally agree with you. Cowboy Nation, we want to hear from you. Let us know what you're thinking out there, man. You a fan of dropping back? You feel like that if Genty is there, that's the guy? Do you like a guy like McMillan?
Let me ask you something, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
We already spent our 4th round pick, but nobody's talking about it. We're talking about drafting a receiver. We spent our 4th round pick on a receiver. Nobody's talking about it. Is it a bust already? Like we wasted a 4th round pick on the quarterback, Trey Lance. We just wasted a 4th round pick on him. So is that what we're doing with Mingo? Because nobody's saying anything. Nobody.
Jonathan Mingo from the Carolina Panthers.
We spent their 4th round pick on him.
That's what I'm saying, Coach. That's what I'm saying, man. We talked about it, our frustrations about Trey Lance, that pick, 4th round. Like, guys act like 4th round picks are invaluable. You understand? So that's what we're talking about now. We're talking about maybe having to fall back, not take a player at 12 in order to get the extra draft capital to get some of these pieces we need. So to answer your question, hell no. I think it was very stupid, you know what I'm saying? And I thought it was something because of the pressure that Jerry was getting to do something. That's just my take. You know what I'm saying?
Debo went for a 5th round pick.
See what I'm saying? What did Amari Cooper go for?
Yeah.
See what I mean? You get this. You bringing this guy at a 4.
So I don't see us driving a receiver early. I'm just thinking about that. And we're gonna spend 2 of our top 4 picks on receivers.
Right. That might just be why we have to go O-line at that spot.
Yeah,
I'm just saying at that draft spot.
Yeah.
But Cowboy Nation, we want to hear from you. Let us know what you think, man.
Yeah.
Let us know, man. We really value what you guys think out there. Let us know. We're going to shift into our next segment, take a quick break, but we'll be back. We're going to talk about some draft prospects. Like last week, we gave you 3. This week, we got 4 guys for you. We want you to take a look at the film that we got cut up on them. Let us know if you think these are guys possibly that the Cowboys might bring in.
One time for the one time.
We'll be back in just one moment, Cowboy Nation. Right back at you, man. Coming back at you.
Yes,
I want to talk to you a little bit about these draft prospects. So We kicked off last week our segment where we broke down some of the players that we feel like are going to be options for the Cowboys. Mainly right now, we've been looking for players that have been in that first round field. I think Alfred Collins maybe not first round, maybe a little later. But today we got a few players that we want to build with you about. The first guy that we want to talk about is a guy who really had a big time combine. It's got a lot of scouts and a lot of people talking, and that's Armand Mimbu, who is a offensive tackle for Missouri. Can play the guard position as well.
Offensive lineman,
Yes, sir. So we just say, like you said, we just say offensive lineman. We're talking about a guy that's 6'3", 314 pounds, and who has twinkle toes. This guy can move, man. This guy can move. Had one of the best combine showings I've seen from an offensive lineman in quite a while. So we had a 40-yard dash time of 4.91, 10-yard split of 1.74, vertical jump of 34, and a broad jump of 9.7. It's rated one of the top guys in the combine. So one thing that jumps out at me on this tape is his aggressiveness. It makes me think about another guy that we got at guard right now.
Yes, sir.
That's and how nasty and aggressive he is, and how he just want to, you know what I'm saying? He just want to destroy guys in front of him, Coach.
Yeah, that's the first person I thought of, especially, you know, when he can play that guard position. He's a tackle, but can play that guard position. So, I mean, can you imagine he and Tyler Smith at the guard? We want to run the ball.
Yes, sir.
So we have to have offensive linemen, and he can kick out to the right tackle, or, he can kick out to the right tackle in a pinch.
Yep.
And that could be his eventual spot.
Yes, he is, man. When he get his hands on you, man, it's over. Yeah. He's very powerful. He's going to drive you. One of the things is that he's not very tall for the stature of an offensive lineman. So that's one of the things that has been his knock. Also, a little bit of balance issues out there when he's playing on the wing. I mean, out on the offensive tackle. Sometimes it gets a little bit extended, gets off balance. But we heard all the negative things when 73 came in. You know what I mean? And this guy just went out from day one and just kicked some ass.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's what he does. So this will be another physical, nasty guy that you have on the offensive line. If you want to run toss plays, if you want to get him out in counters or you want to pull him, it ain't going to be no problem. He's going to be able to get out in front of guys. So as you look at him on the tape, he gets out, gets his hands on people, drives people, and opens up holes. So I really like what I've seen from him.
Nasty.
I really like what I've seen from him, Coach. Go ahead. Give us a little bit more what you see from him.
No, I mean, you've seen him a lot. You said enough about him.
Yes,
he's a nasty guy who's very versatile, and I like that.
Yep.
I like that he, wherever we need, and he's elite at both positions, inside or outside, which is something we need.
Guy that can come in, you believe, and start from day one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's definitely, who's going he's going to be better at the offensive guard.
That's right, man.
And like you said, at 6'4", he might be a guard.
Yep. So that's one of the guys we wanted to take a look at, Cowboy Nation. Take a look at him. Let them know what you think about him as well. Second guy that we want to talk about is Tetero McMillan, wide receiver from Arizona. I'll be honest with you, Cowboy Nation. I didn't think this was a guy that we had a chance at. I thought he would be off the board a lot earlier. But what I'm hearing, a lot of shifts and what guys and teams are looking for, just might be there, Coach, at the 12th spot if we don't draft back.
Man, you know how this draft goes, man. It depends on, some people. Who knows what they like? Who knows, who has a twinkle in their eye? So, yeah. If we have a chance to get him, this will be a great get. But like I said earlier, I just don't see us getting a receiver since we've already spent a 4th rounder on the receiver.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I mean, we got to give this dude Mingo a chance. Have to. We spent a 4th rounder on him. So I know.
From what I saw last year, even when we was trying to force feed him the ball, man, I just didn't see the separation. He's supposed to be a guy that's able to go up and high point the ball, win some jump balls for you. So I'm hoping for the best. I mean, anything that's good for us, you know what I'm saying, I'm for it. But if you get an opportunity with a guy like this, I remember we didn't have no projections of getting CeeDee Lamb,
right?
And he fell into our lap. And man,
Right.
what has 88 done for us? So that's a guy that we'll keep our eye on, but you can't deny the talent. Needs to work on his route running. Not like we said earlier, not a burner, but he's definitely a playmaker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's and then too, he's not. He's opposite of what CD is. So sometimes you got a guy like CD that can maybe be on the inside and you have him working out on the outside. So
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you said if he's there at 12, that's it.
If he's there at 12, I find it very hard for us not to take him. But coach, like I just told you, I think with everything that you just laid out, man, as far as moving back, with what we've done to ourselves. You know what I mean? With these picks that we've wasted, we might just be better suited for trading back. Yeah. But another guy that I saw that we spent a lot of time with in Indianapolis and had a lot of eyes on, and that I think we've got some interest in, is a guy that's out of Alabama, and that's Jahad Campbell, linebacker. And Jahad Campbell, just his things that I'm hearing from his combine and what scouts are saying is that his leadership, his vocal ability, he might not be the top athlete, but he had a pretty good showing. He's 4.52 guy. You know what I mean? Well, I think Broad jumped 10.7. So he's got athletic.
He's an athlete.
Yeah, he's got athleticism. Doesn't jump off the chart at you, but he's a guy that when you watch him on tape, he's everywhere. You know what I mean? He's side to side. The drills, the feet, you know what I mean? Just having the high IQ is something that, as having a captain or a linebacker or a guy that makes calls for you out there, he's a guy that you have to at least take a look at.
You gotta count. I mean, we have a need.
Yes, sir. We do, man.
So
because you don't know where Overshawn is at. I know he's really, talking about he feels like that he'll be back sooner than later, but just don't know that injury, and this is not the first injury that he's had.
You can't go from 2 years missing 2 seasons to just missing 9 months.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir. So we'll see how that shakes out, but this guy is really a guy that we're going to take a look at. As always, Cowboys Nation, like we've been saying, take a look at this, man. Hit them comments up. Talk to us, man. Let us know what you think about it. Maybe it's a guy that you want to see us put on next week that you would like to see us go in depth in. We'd love to hear from you. Keeping it moving. I thought that we'd take a look at a running back here because, like we said, we don't know what's going to happen with Genty, and if the design is to get a running back, there's going to be some guys out there. So one guy I want to take a look at is Amarion Hampton. That's a running back from out of North Carolina. This guy here has had an excellent season. I even looked at some of his tape from his junior season. Guy really makes tremendous runs hard, is a tough guy in there. Coach, what do you think about Amarion Hampton and what you saw from him over his career?
I like him. Good feet. Hits the hole.
Okay.
Like you said, strong, physical runner.
Yep.
The only thing, when I watched this film, I didn't see him break away.
Yeah.
He was always, he doesn't have that breakaway speed. He ran a 4.4 something?
Yeah, 4.46.
Yeah, but I mean, when I saw it on, he was getting caught.
Yes, sir.
Somebody always had that angle on him. So, but other than that, you need some 10 to 15. He's gonna get those tough physical yards, man.
I totally agree with you, Coach. And he's a bell horse too. You can give him that ball, man. He'll work for you. I think the thing that I saw with him was sometimes not keeping those feet moving, which is very important. And then too, the vision. Sometimes making the right decision right at the line of scrimmage is something that I think he's got to get better at. And that can be a big thing for a guy going in. Is your offensive line great? Then yeah, the holes are there. But if you're coming into an offensive line that's not, or it needs a little bit of time to get some holes, you got to be patient and then you got to pick the right holes. So that's one of the things that I think that he's got to get better at.
Absolutely.
But he's going to be a player in this league, and I think he's going to make somebody a good running back. Will it be the Cowboys? I don't know. We'll see where we what we do and where we fall at. But like I said, Cowboy Nation, I know a lot of us have been banking on Genty as that running back. Just want to let you know, man, if you don't get Genty, don't get upset, man. There are tons of running backs that are in there, and I'm talking about beyond the third round. There are guys out there that can help us out.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Dylan Sampson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's one I'm keeping an eye on.
Yes, sir. So, Cowboy Nation, that's the draft prospects. Like I said, take a look at the footage that we got out there. Get those comments up. Let us know what you think. And we're going to come back. We're going to wrap this thing up.
Wrap this up, B.
Right back at you. Cowboy Nation, man, it's been fun, man. It's been a hell of a show, man. A lot of good content, man. Good thing about it is that there's been a lot of positive stuff that's been happening this week on the Cowboy front.
Yes.
One thing I want to do before we get out of here is, man, I want to have a moment of just silence or respect for the great Zack Martin.
Yes.
He was hanging it up after 11 years in the NFL. I think a seven-time All-Pro. Coach, give us a little bit of information about Zack, man.
7-time All-Pro, 9 Pro Bowls. Every year he was healthy, an All-Pro. Rookie year, offensive lineman, he was the rookie of the year, offensive rookie. 11 years, giving up 20 sacks. 5 of those were this year. We're talking about 10 years, 15 sacks. Now, and that's in 162 games, 20 sacks in 162 games. And the most, the best, I don't know if it's the best, but the biggest thing is he's been the same amount of All-Pros as he has holding penalties. 7 holding penalties, 11 years. 6,559 pass blocking snaps, 7 holding penalties.
Yeah, man, what a career, man. One thing I'll say about the guy is he did it the right way. And here's a guy after 11 years in the NFL, and you go back to Notre Dame, they still use his highlight tape for each offensive line, how to play. After 11 years. Just wanted to bow my hat, head, I should say, Zack Martin, Cowboy Nation, and just say thank you, man. Thank you for a job well done. Coach, man, take us out of here, baby.
Yeah, man, that's one good thing that daggone Jerry Jones did. He resisted the urge to draft Johnny Manziel and got freaking Zack Martin.
Yes, sir.
There it is, Cowboy Nation. There is hope, man. There is hope. We might be doing things a little differently. We'll know for sure with how we handle this Michael Parsons contract. If we get this done pretty soon, we might be on the right track, man. Maybe Jerry is maybe things are different, man. We'll see. I'm not gonna get my hopes up too high. All right, Q-Love. That one love.
Cowboy Nation, out. One.
Be safe.
Yeah.